I have my coffee. This actually tastes really good. And then I have mini bagels. I have strawberry, and then I have cream cheese on one because I could not choose. And then I have a banana. Need some potassium. So as a kid, I would say I had the best confidence. I was always confident in everything I did. I had really good friends around me supporting me. I had a really good support system. I was very confident. I was a very smart kid. I had a good concept overall about myself, a self-concept, okay? And then as I grew up, I want to say 2020, I met this guy. His concept was so shitty. He projected all of that onto me. My self-esteem was terrible. I was not confident at all. I just felt so shitty about myself. I felt so shitty about myself. I literally wanted to meet nobody. So how I would define self-concept is the ideal image that you have of yourself. Self-concept has 3 components. It's your self-image, your self-esteem, and your ideal self. These 3 components are mainly influenced on our environment or how we view ourselves overall. So if you believe something about yourself, it will manifest into your 3D reality, because I'm really big on manifesting. So if you tell yourself something like, oh, I'm pretty, I'm beautiful, you're gonna believe it. But if you, in other words, are being very negative towards yourself, oh, I'm ugly, I'm stupid, I'm dumb, you're going to be stupid, dumb, and broke. Like, self-concept is a collection of beliefs that we hold about ourselves. Everything holds energy, so even how you feel about yourself, like, people can sense how confident or how insecure you feel about yourself. Self-image is how you view yourself in this present moment. How do you feel in this present moment right now? And if you're never present in the present moment, and you're always thinking about the past, and you're thinking about the what ifs in the future, and you're not being present with yourself and your inner being right now, I promise you life's gonna feel shitty. Being negative has to be the most draining thing you could do to yourself. Negative towards your world and being negative towards yourself. Like, does that feel good? Like, I did not have the best self-concept a few years ago, a few months ago even. I had to surround myself with people because I was just so like sad and I just could not be by myself. So what I really recommend is alone time. I know it sucks. You're like, oh, that's boring. I hate being by myself. I'm not gonna lie, being by myself, I learned more things about myself than ever before. Like, the only reason why I liked certain things or specific things was because I was hanging out with those people that liked those things and those specific things. I didn't really mind it, but now that I look back on it, I'm like, well, I really didn't enjoy it. I was just there because I was there because I didn't want to be by myself. When you're alone, you really figure out what you like, what you dislike, what you like about yourself, what you want to change about yourself, you know, daily habits, things you want to change about yourself. What I love doing every single day is meditating, going to the gym at least 6 times a week. You're like, what? Six times a week. It's so therapeutic. It is so good for your mind, body, and soul. I love going to the gym. When you're by yourself, you really figure out you. You figure out what you like, what you dislike. So don't focus about what other people say about you. It's how you feel about you. Life is all about growing, evolving, changing, shedding skin. There's always seasons, new seasons, highs, lows. Life's not always gonna be at its highs, and life is not always gonna be at its lows. It's like a balance, there's an in-between. Usually when I'm having a bad day, like, here are my highs, here are my high days, and then here are my low days. When I'm having a high day, I'm up here, like, I'm unstoppable, nobody can stop me. But then when I'm having a low day, it's like, but my self-concept is so good. I tell myself, you know what? This is just a phase. I'm gonna get out of it. Everything's gonna be okay. I know who I am. I just, like, something's going on right now, and I'm not always gonna be 100%, and that's okay. That is okay. Everybody thinks that you in general, people just think that you have to be 100%. You do not have to be 100% every single day. Back then, when I had my lows, it was like, my lows were down here every single day because my self-concept, my confidence, just everything, my self-esteem was just down here. So I just felt like this all day. But when I was having a high day, it was like, and then back to low. Life is about growing and evolving and learning new things about yourself. That shit was so weird when people would tell me, oh, they meditate. I'm like, how can you stay in one spot and like enjoy that? Now it's like, oh, when I'm having a bad day, I need to go meditate so I can get my mind straight and get myself together before I explode, because I'm human. I want to sorry. Sometimes I'm not in the right state of mind, and that's okay. We are healing, we're not healed. I think part of that is my self-esteem, because I love myself so much and I value myself so much that I'm more gentle with myself. I'm more gentle with other people, because how you treat other people is how you normally treat yourself. So if you're around shitty people, you're gonna feel like shit. Self-esteem meaning, do you love yourself? Do you compare yourself to other people on social media? Do you just compare yourself to other people in general? I promise you, if social media was never a thing, I don't ever think there would be such thing as jealousy or, competition as much as there is today. When we're bored, we go on social media. And we're always comparing ourselves to who we see on social media. Oh, they're over here and I'm doing this. Oh, they're living their life and I'm over here freaking feeling like shit. So if your self-esteem is, hey, like, that's cool, I can do that too, that's an optimistic mindset. You're being positive, and matter of fact, you being positive, you're gonna reach that goal even faster. And I'm not gonna lie, I used to compare myself to people on social media all the time. You say, damn, like, she has a big butt, she's prettier than me, look at her hair, we're all guilty of that. Like, everybody's journey is gonna be different. Stop comparing yourself to other people. That's their journey. And you know what? Because of their self-concept, they're able to do things like that because they're confident in what they do. They work hard for what they do. On the other hand, you're too busy over here spreading negativity, comparing yourself to other people. You're not gonna get anywhere in life with comparing and being jealous and envying other people. You have to be so careful about who you give your energy to, because sometimes people will project negativity onto you where, they're not too happy or confident within themselves, so they're gonna try and put that on you, because it's happened to me plenty of times. It makes me feel like shit, but that's when I say you have to know who you are truly. You don't care about what other people are saying because you're so confident in yourself that you know who you are. And that's when I say that's why you kind of have to spend time with yourself, because nobody can tell you about you, because you know who the fuck you are. No one really gives a fuck about how you feel. No, they start giving a fuck when you change your mindset. They start giving a fuck when they see that you're up here and you're becoming something and someone, and nothing can stop you because of your self-concept, because you know your worth, you know who you are. You know how confident you are. Nobody can stop you, nobody can tell you shit because you're so confident. Girl, what? Everybody gonna be your bestie. I'm be like, ooh, what is she doing? How did she get up here? She was down here. How did she get up here? And that's what I mean when I say people can sense energy. Energy is everything. I didn't know that, but energy is everything. How you feel about one person, they're gonna sense that energy. How you feel about yourself, people are gonna sense that energy. People are gonna sense if you're confident. People are gonna sense if you're, stuck up. People are gonna sense if you're not confident, if you're very insecure. Because I could sense it off people. So I'm pretty sure people could sense it off me at one point. But now I just don't give a fuck about what anybody says, because you realize people are really not happy with themselves. I didn't realize that until I noticed how happy I am. When you become happy, you vibrate at a higher frequency, so you start attracting better things to you. My relationships have improved. My love life has improved. Yes. My relationship with myself has improved. I attract better things, better circumstances into my life. So that brings me to the other component, meaning your ideal self. So who do you want to become? Because obviously you're not going to stay in this concept forever. You're going to obviously want to grow, reach your goals. So what is your higher self doing right now? Your higher self is not thinking, oh man, I'm this, I'm broke, I'm ugly, I'm stupid, I'm not confident, I'm insecure. No, what is your ideal self thinking about right now? Think about who your higher self is and become that person. Even if you're faking it, it may feel weird because it's something different. You're doing something out of the norm. So if you're telling yourself, you know what, I'm a bad bitch, I'm successful, I'm beautiful, start acting like it. Start acting like it. Even if it feels weird, you're gonna start attracting those good things into your life where it really is not gonna feel weird anymore, and that's gonna be your daily life. That's gonna be like your normal routine. This time, like, how did I really go from that to this today? Because if you knew me a year ago today and you know me now, it's like two completely different people. Like me now and old me, we probably would have fought. Like I was just such a shitty person. Like I didn't care about anybody but myself. I didn't have that relationship with God and my family. I didn't have that relationship with myself. I was just a shitty person overall because I had such a shitty concept about myself, because I was like, okay, well, if I'm shitty, like I don't care about anything else. I stopped really enjoying the things that I was doing, hanging out with people, clubbing, partying, smoking, drinking, etc. I started hanging out with myself. So yeah, I really stopped hanging out with certain people. It actually took a while, but as I started hanging out with myself more, I started realizing, hey, Leslie, like, you really don't like being around this person, but you still continue to be around them because you have an attachment issue. So how about we work on that first? So I started working on myself little by little. It didn't happen overnight. And then I started changing and evolving and growing and turning into a completely different person. And then that's when I don't hang out with most of those people anymore. I don't smoke anymore. That was like an everyday thing for me. Smoking, drinking, that was every day for me just because. So I'm sober now. I go to the gym. That's my therapy. Everybody needs to have a therapy. That's my therapy, even if that means painting, reading. Oh, I like reading too. The last time I read was in high school, which was about 3 years ago. Hated reading. Literally hated reading. The only reason why I would open a book was because my teacher told me I had to read this book. Only reason why. Now, I love reading. I love learning new information. I love learning about the body. I love learning about the mind. I love learning about the soul. I like reading now. It's therapeutic. It helps you. You're in the present moment. You're able to connect with yourself, with your body, with your soul. I'm really big on those things. So that means moving into your ideal self. So who do you want to become? Who do you want to be? What are your goals in life? What are you working towards? What do you want to be? Are you manifesting positivity into your life, or are you completely thinking about negative things and not worrying about the goodness in your life, not worrying about, not showing gratitude in your life? Because gratitude can go a long way. Even if it's little things, be grateful for those little things, because what if you don't have that tomorrow? Your car. I'm grateful. Even though it's not the car that I want, I'm grateful that I can go from point A to point B. I'm grateful that I'm here and I'm learning and I'm strong enough to go through this, because I know this is not the end for me. I know this storm is going to pass. I know this is teaching me something. Every bad, try and turn it to every good. Try and turn it, because nothing has meaning unless we give it meaning. And most of the time, we're just being negative overall. So we just think everything in our life is negative. Oh, they're not texting me back, so they don't like me. Oh, they found someone better. What if they're genuinely just like not on their phone, working, doing something? That's when the self-esteem comes in, you know what I mean? Because if your self-esteem is up, you're like, oh, they're probably busy, because I know who I am, I know my worth, so I'm confident enough to know that I'm bad bitch, I'm that bitch, and if he loses me, his loss. Or that job that you lost, okay, well, I'm a good ass worker, so apparently it was not meant to be, and I'm gonna find something better. It's either this or better. That's how you have to think. Don't ever think that you're going backwards, go forward. Think positive about yourself. Oh, he left me? Okay, so now guess what? I'm gonna find better. I'm gonna find somebody that treats me right, that treats me amazing. It's all about how you portray things. How do you view things? Are you gonna be negative your whole life? Or are you gonna try and at least be positive? And don't try to be positive for like 5 minutes and then be negative for the rest of the day. No, that's where discipline comes in with the mind. You have to discipline yourself enough to say, you know what? this is not the end for me. I'm gonna continue to be positive because Leslie told me to be positive, because apparently it did something to her, so it's probably gonna do something to me. Yeah, I was the most negative person ever. I was literally so negative. After I met that guy, I was so negative. I had to rebuild myself. I literally had an identity crisis. I didn't know who I was. I didn't know who I liked. I didn't know what I liked. I didn't know if I even liked myself. All right, boom. So let's pretend that you're your ideal self today. Are you gonna be negative or are you gonna be positive? Your ideal self, you're successful, you're famous, you're beautiful, you're confident, you're up. Basically, you're up. How are you gonna act towards the world, and how are you gonna act towards yourself? Like what Drake said, used to this. Once you start doing something and you make it a habit, you just get used to it. It's gonna feel weird at first. It's gonna feel very abnormal. You're gonna be like, what the fuck am I doing? This is not me. You want to create good habits. Why did I have to do all that? Like, the fuck? You have to be your biggest supporter. No one's gonna support you the way you support you, okay? You know you better than anybody else, so why are you gonna wanna be your biggest hater and not be your bestest friend? Why does this chair make so much fucking... Your ideal self is not gonna care what other people think, because this is your life. Your ideal self is going to do what the fuck she or he wants to do, because you know you're that bitch, and you know whatever you set your mind to, you're going to accomplish. A lot of people nowadays, they think, oh, what are they gonna think if I do this? What are they gonna think if I do that? They probably won't even give a fuck. Like, they're too busy worried about what they're doing, what's going on in their life. They don't give a fuck about what you're doing. So do what you love, do what makes you happy, grow, be a good person, because not many people can be a good person, but I promise you, being a good person is going to go a long way. Being good to you and to other people is going to go a long way. Stop trying to match people's energies and say, oh, well, you know what? She's treating me like shit, so I'm just gonna treat everybody else like shit. Like, is that fun to you? Like, matching negative energies? Like, what happened to matching good energies? Like, people just don't want to be good nowadays. Like, why not be different? Because that's so sad to say, because being different means being nice and being optimistic and being a good person. But, like, why not be different and, like, literally, like, follow your dreams, follow your goals? This is why 1% of the population is successful and growing. What the fuck was that? And growing and, like, living that successful, awesome life, because they did not give a fuck about what anybody said, and they just did what made them happy. And then there's the 99%, of course, where they just follow the traditional stuff, work the 9 to 5, okay, go home, cook, repeats. The 1% is working on themselves and working towards their goals. But the mind is so powerful. I think people just forget how powerful they are. They're so focused on the negativity that negative things keep coming into their life. Self-concept could change so many circumstances in your life. You have to reprogram your subconscious mind. Start telling yourself good things about yourself. Start telling good things about your life, your environment. What beliefs do you hold about yourself? Do you believe that you can accomplish anything you set your mind to? Or do you believe that anything you do, you fail at? Do you believe that you're the baddest bitch to walk this earth? Or are you so scared to leave your house because you're afraid you're gonna scare somebody away? Some people, I used to think I was cursed. I was like, fuck, I'm fucking cursed for life. Like, why is this stuff happening to me? Because of your subconscious mind, because of what you tell yourself, what your self-concept is about you. We can be our biggest hater, but we could also be our biggest supporter too. What I advise you to do now moving forward is forget the past, because the past is a memory. Whatever happened in the past is the past. We can't change the past. The only thing we can change is right now, because what we can change right now will change our future. Because if you're too focused on the past in this moment right now, everything that happened in the past is going to continue in your future. Everything, you're going to keep manifesting bad things into your future because you're too focused on the past. So what you put your mind to is what's gonna expand more. I used to like, when people used to tell me forget the past, I used to be like, how? Like literally, there's no how. You just need to forget it, or not even forget it, but stop focusing on it. Like stop focusing on what happened, the bad things that happened. It already happened. Like there's nothing we can change about it. As sucky as it sounds, there's nothing we can change about it. Do what we can do now. What can we do now? Start thinking positive, start being happy, start showing gratitude. Gratitude is a big one. Not many people think that, you know, showing gratitude is a big deal. It's a big fucking deal. Because what you are happy for and what you are grateful for will come more into your life. If we keep talking about shitty circumstances and shitty things that happen to our life, it's gonna keep coming. It's gonna keep coming back. Some of you guys let other people dictate about how you feel about yourself and about other people. If you continue to follow what everybody else is doing, you're not gonna be authentic and you're not gonna be yourself. You're gonna be just like everybody else. Who wants to be like everybody else? You wanna be yourself. You wanna stand out. You want to stand out. If you are too busy trying to be like other people, then girl, you are not gonna live a happy life. I can promise you that. You are not gonna go very far. Because you are too worried about what other people think, and you are too worried about being like everybody else. Everybody else is depressed and sad and not happy with themselves. So why would you want to be like them? Once we focus on the positive, more positive will come into our lives. Changed how I felt and how I viewed things. It's like so many things like followed behind it. Like positivity started coming into my life, and I probably said that over and over again in this video, but I cannot stress it enough. How positivity has changed my life, how changing my concept on myself and things and started changing the meaning of things, how things changed in my life. Because like I said, nothing has meaning unless you give it meaning. Remember, energy is everything. So what you put out is what you're gonna get back. So always be loving, always be happy, always think positive, always, you know, just show love, show gratitude, do everything that you need to do for your mind, your body, and your soul. Thank you for watching my video. I hope you enjoyed it, and have a great day, and